So most of you guys who follow me over on things like Facebook and such like that, you'd probably be well aware of the fact that my sis and I have had some pretty extraneous financial troubles over the last several months, mostly revolving around the fact that her health had taken a dip and she'd had two heart attacks, and we found it very troublesome to try to get her blood pressure and blood sugars at sort of equilibrium, well-rounded levels and everything like that. It's constantly going into the extremes, very high, very low, and we needed all kinds of accoutrements, from like blood sugar testing machinery to her medications and whatever like that. And so the little amount of funds we had every month to begin with, we're talking, we on a good month we can only get like halfway through the month before we have to think about food pantries and things like that. This put an incredible strain on our finances every month, for quite a while now, and as a result of which I have been trying everything I can think of to try to make some extra money. I got a PayPal going that I attached to my YouTube channel, which has been, varied amounts of not very successful, but, there have been a few very generous people who've sent some stuff my way through that, offering. And any other opportunity that I've been able to try, that I've been able, have offered to me or whatever, I've jumped at the chance. There is this action figure collectible forum, in fact, that I have been semi-involved with since last year, about the middle of 2018, which was when I first found out about it, because they were actually holding contests for $100 store credit to one of two action figure collectibles websites, stores, online stores. And this was like just awesome sauce to me, because I was like, if I could win that $100, it would have to go towards something, like an extravagance, like something I haven't been able to do for myself for a while, an action figure or two or three or something like that I could get for myself, which, this day and age, that's the most joy I take out of anything, being able to go to the store and maybe buy an action figure, which I haven't done since 2018, haven't been able to do because I just haven't been able to afford it, that kind of thing. And even on the humble amount of funds we usually have every month, if I was lucky, I could get one figure in the span of a month, which is like $20. Maybe, depending on if things really worked out well enough, like at the food pantries and things, I could spend up to $40, get two figures a month. But I haven't been able to do that in quite some time, and so I jumped at the chance at becoming a part of this action figure collectible forum community, where they were having this contest, because I was like, that would be, if I won, that would be money that would directly go toward something that would just make me happy. That kind of thing. It wouldn't be able to be twisted or have to be used for something else, applied toward a necessity, whether that's stocking the fridge, which we're barely capable of doing, or getting medication, or health-related accoutrements, or making appointments, doctor appointments, and being able to get there with the transportation, all that kind of stuff. If I won this contest, I would be able to actually just give myself a gift, and even get something for my sister as well. And so I became very active on this forum, going back to 2018, I think maybe September-ish, toward the end of the summer, before October of 2018. And every subsequent month, they would hold this contest again. Somebody would be chosen to win, and then they'd renew the contest for the next month. And so I just became very fastidious on this forum. I was the most active person, bar none, on this particular forum, and talking about, just down to the percentages of how often I posted, how often I propelled the conversation. I mean, they had these sort of loosey-goosey rules where the site runner who was holding the contest would say, any post considered to be spam would not be counted, and it was always hard to tell, whether there was favoritism or not, or if it was just blind luck, random chance, because you know, this guy would just say by his own perspective whatever he considered to be spam, you know, that kind of thing. And so I was always riding the rails of uncertainty of what's going too far. You know, I'm always posting little paragraphs, you know, talking about an item, an action figure, or something that's being previewed or that was reviewed or that, you know, they took photographs of to showcase and things like that. And I would just be constantly involved, and I was the most involved person on the site. I was even taking it from the tack of, let's see if I can get this site more attention by brandishing, you know, posts about it on my Facebook account, over on my YouTube community feed. And these were also aspects of the contest that would count for votes in, you know, if you completed that task. That would just give you that much more extra votes. You know, however many times you posted, as long as your posts weren't disregarded as spam, every post you made would be a vote in for the contest. And so after losing month after month, I began to sort of take it personally. Like, for whatever reason, I'm the most active person here. I'm advertising this place. I'm keeping the conversations going. I'm constantly making replies, making posts, and this, that, and the other thing. Even posting some of my video content to try to get attention, you know, between my YouTube channel and this particular forum. And I felt like I put so much time and effort into it. Even though the bottom line was, oh God, I hope I win this $100 so I can just, you know, get some action figures and something to make me happy for a change. I felt like I put so much work into it that when I was coming up with losses time and again, I was just like, what the hell is going on here? In all the worst ways possible, it was starting to make me feel and become the kind of person you see on YouTube where they get very competitive and even conspiratorial at times, being very much obsessive and consumed with view counts and subscriber counts and thumbs ups or thumbs downs and all that kind of stuff. They exist and exude by that, surrounded and you know, whatever like that, just permeated by that mentality. And it's a sick, twisted mentality to get into, you know, and I've had close calls, close brushes with almost getting into that mindset where it's like, I'm not having success like other people are. And I get to comparing myself and I start to hate and loathe and despise these people I don't even know because they're doing the same kind of thing I am. They're just sitting in front of a camera, but look how many thousands of views they've got and they're monetized and they're able to make money off of it and all this kind of stuff. And I never liked that aspect of YouTube, and so have been fortunate to have kept myself at arm's length from that mentality on YouTube for the most part, even though I do have times where I'm affected by it in that such a way. But on this forum, it was a different story because there's $100 hanging in the balance, and every single time I'm being the most active person on this site, trying to bring in attention, trying to keep the conversation going and making these, you know, post submissions. And for whatever reason, it's going ignored, unappreciated. And I just began to feel slighted. And I didn't like the way it was making me feel. I was feeling negative all the time. I was feeling depressive all the time because I was just like, if I could just win it this time. You know, with how active I am, why are my posts going ignored? I know there's probably some level of random chance involved in actually choosing someone, but if you look at the percentages of how active I was as compared to everyone else, why are my, you know, posts, why are my submissions not being so counted as should be, as ought to be reflected by the percentages? I just really didn't like who I was becoming. And so in the last, like 2 months ago, contest that they had before taking a break, the whole forum took a break from any contests, I sort of unceremoniously bowed out. I just stopped going to the site, and I only made like 1 or 2 posts anymore. And I was just like, I need to break free of this. I gotta get out of this prison I formed for myself, revolving around and you know, now being permeated by this obsessive need and want to win this $100. I just needed to break free from it, and I did. And I've been sort of inactive on it since that time, until tonight, until what prompted this video being recorded, was I actually went out of curiosity. I had a few free moments while I was waiting for today's latest anime episodes to catch up with. And I went over there out of curiosity, and I see they got another contest running as of May 9th, going to May 19th. And for just a fleeting moment, I was like, "Ooh, I'm going to make the necessary posts. I'm going to get active." But as soon as I did, I was, steadfastly reminded of all the times I tried previous, and all the thankless efforts I put in to trying to build up this site and keep the conversation going. Even with the contest running right now, it's not very active over there. I mean, it's kind of a crying shame, but it's the fact. It's the fact of the matter. I was the most active person on this site, and purely percentage based, you would think I would have won time and time again, but these other people, like a couple of the winners, it was so ass backwards, because a couple of the winners made 1 or 2 posts in the given allotted time, and somehow they won. And a few of them were people who have been with that site for many years. So you could almost say it's an obvious case of favoritism via the site runner, owner, whatever, because these are names he's seen since he made the site. Other ones were just like people who were secondarily as active as I was, but mostly all of their posts were like 1-word or 1-sentence reactions to things, and it expressly states in the rules for the contests that those kinds of posts would be considered spam, as compared to my paragraph length and sometimes multi-paragraph responses, in-depth, thought out, well thought of responses and posts. So there's a lot of ass backwardness going on that I was like, you know what? There's another contest. It's another $100 to try to win, to get myself some action figures, to get myself some kind of unbridled joy for the first time in a while, with money that won't have to be twisted and perverted toward necessity and things that we're only getting by the skin of our teeth anyway, that kind of thing. This would be money expressly for joy. And I was just like, but with how it was making me feel, with how depressive it was making me feel, with how, depressive and just aggressive and feeling conspiratorial and feeling slighted that I was feeling, all this negativity, it's not worth it. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm done. At least for now, I'm done. I'm not going to be lured back in. I'm not going to be suckered back into it, because it's not a sure thing, and all that time and effort. I mean, I'm a writer, and when I write, whether it's Facebook posts, whether it's YouTube community posts, I don't think people appreciate how much thought and effort goes into writing, thinking it out, drawing it out, using the right words and in the right sequence, and you have to have, at least I do, I have to have almost an OCD level of satisfaction that I've written to the best of my ability, to the absolute best, top tier, even if it's just a paragraph lamenting the fact that I'm broke. I write it like I'm Shakespeare. I'm writing it with taking every letter with its due diligence and making sure it is in the correct sequence, and that I feel right about it before I make the post. It takes effort and time and thought process. And so every single written post that I make, no matter what it is about, I put all that time and effort and thought into it. And it's in this case, in the case of this forum, it's draining. It's like soul sapping, and it just, to make me so depressive and to make me so, like I said, all the worst aspects of being competitive and aggressive and feeling slighted, it's just negativity I don't need. I have enough to deal with. And so, like, I was just left thinking, that's it. I'm done. For now, be that as it may, I'm done. And good luck to whoever gets chosen to win. As much as I want it, as much as I would love it, you know, I just can't do it anymore, at least for now.